Hello and welcome back to Spekd. Today, I've finally got my delivery. Warhammer Conquest. Yeah, it's been a while. But obviously, with a subscription, I have to wait around for delivery. But you know what? It kind of makes it sweeter. I just all of a sudden get this box, and inside this box, I get like all these items, you know, with my models that I'm painting and running low. Bam, I get like a new little present. It's like my birthday once a month. Shh, don't tell anyone. All right, well, I hope you guys have been okay, and thank you for being patient and waiting. And as you know, I did a competition for issue number 46 giveaway, and now this has arrived. I will now see who's won that competition, but I'll put that in another video. Let's focus on this right now. So, $7.99 is still the thing, and we've got a Landspeeder. And we have all the items for it. From what I can see right here, we've got like 3 sprues sitting here. We've even got the flying base, and this is looking kind of nice. Now, I have not got one of these before, and they've never really interested me. And I wonder if by building it, we'll actually get like an affinity for the model. I mean, I don't know yet, but hey, let's see. If I do build this, it's going to be for Blood Angels. I'm not going to give this to my Sons of the Phoenix because I want them all to be Primaris. So let's give this a go. Open up. Let's have a look. Okay, as always, let's start off with the sprue. I just want to need that. Now, with the sprue, I like to have a look for detail, see what we've got. Let's make that a bit easier there. So, going through this, everything looks clean. I don't have anything damaged or broken. You know, good job on the delivery. Hash it there. Thank you very much. And I was speaking to them the other day actually, and there was something that I made mention to them, which I said I've got a lot of people from the States that watch the channel, and they're actually really interested in getting Conquest magazine if it was available to them. And they were happy to tell me that if it's escalated to the Hatchet company that people are interested, if they see a market there, they will actually buy it. So if you want to put in the chat at the bottom, you know, put it in the comments below, like you know, that you're interested in buying it and you're from the States. If you just put I'm from the States and I will buy it or something like that, you know, they'll probably start marketing it out there, because there's been quite a few guys that watch this channel, and I know that, and you know, I appreciate that again. So anything to get it out there, make it cheaper for you. Right, sprue looks okay, model looks okay, still got to build it. Hopefully it's fairly straightforward. So here it is, and I'll be honest with you, this was an absolute nightmare to build. I've had to leave off the heavy bolter or the multi-melter, because effectively I want to make sure that I can paint it up without a problem and come back to it. So I'm going to spray it, but there it is. It is a nice designed model, just by the look of it, small details, but to be perfectly honest, because it didn't have instructions, it was a pain in the butt. I know this is unusual for me to do this during the model display, but I just want to show you it's 100% the old instructions that they used to use, so they don't give you any numbers to match on the sprues. So just be aware of that if this is the first kind of model that you're making without any real instructions by numbers. These extra spare parts, I want to repaint them and use them for different things. Weapons, as I said, weapon options, so you've got the heavy bolter there. I'll be painting up later, getting that on there. These extra bits, I'll just leave those because I can always use them for another thing, so just keep hold of those. You can even use these for shields, Borgrins or Ogrins or something if you make hit bashing. I didn't attach the symbol on there yet, the chapter symbol, and that reminds me, I think it's the Dark Angels that have a thing called a Dark Talon, which means that this guy, one of these guys, carries a sword or something. I normally see it on Glacial Geek every now and then when I watch his stuff. It's really fun actually. Always ends up making me laugh. But if you have a look in there, he has a Dark Talon. You can find it on Games Workshop website. But that will give you an idea of the rules of play and how you can use it. So rather than sticking everything on, you could just, you know, super glue if need be and snap it off and change it over. Alright, let's get back to the magazine. So that's that out the way. So having a look here, magazine design colors, it's nice contrast, but everything's warm in color, so you know, even though it is contrasted colors, it's not like a cold and a lime and like a stark blue. They kind of kept it all together, which is nice, So we have Landspeeder information, the war gear. Oh, look at that, Skies of Flame, the Heralds of Nurgle. This will be interesting. Landspeeder build, paint, and we've got missions there. I will say that when I got this set, I did get my new binder. So the first thing I did was I put all of my combats and how to play in that binder. Now I expect there to be one final binder, so you do actually have binders for each of those sections. Not that it makes much difference, but if you aren't getting a subscription, at least then you know what's going on there. And then we have our stats. You know I love stats here, look. You've got your armor rating, your speed, your firepower. You know what, Games Workshop? Produce some of these, produce something like this. Let me use this on the tabletop as a roleplay game or something. I would 100% do this. I love me a bit of D&D, Pathfinder. I used to play Rifts, you know, whatever, Marvel, classic Marvel heroes, you know, TSR. I'm all down with that. And any system which gives me stats, I'll just convert. I'll just make something with it. You just keep doing this for me. I'll figure something out. Okay, so there's more information there. I wonder if they're going to... They probably won't speak about it, but obviously if this was for your White Scars, if you looked at the new codex which is out for Space Marines, this will be something you can convert for your White Scars right away. You wouldn't even convert it. You just paint it white. There's some gears there. Weaponry. So this one's talking about the assault cannon, what the alternatives they got. Right away, multi-melter. Yes. I like that. I like that a lot. Heavy flamer. Not so much. They've got lots of sensors on there. You can always use these sensors on other items, you know, to make them look cool. So you could chuck some of these on like a Redemptor Dread just to make it look cool, because you're going to have spare bits that you're not going to use. So we've got there Skies of Flames, so it talks about the mission there. Or history. Got some Tau there. Now if you're into like mecha power suits, Tau you people. And this is a grimdark universe, but the Tau are kind of like the... I would say almost like Star Trek mentality. Everybody join up and let's be friends, let's make everything bigger. But obviously in the grimdark universe, it's not really going to happen. Information's on Heralds and Nurgle, and then you've got your, what's it, Sloppity Bagpiper or something, or Bell Piper, I can't remember his name now. You see him in Age of Sigmar. There you go. Sloppity Bile Pipers. There we go. So you can see those there. As I may mention before, these are the more powerful versions of the Chaos Demons, which are the Heralds. They have more influence, more effect. They're more like the governing aspect, or more like their god, so to speak, than anyone else there. So we've got the Landspeeder. It's talking about adding blue tack for now, but you can always kind of like, if you're going to do this, you could always magnetize that right away. And there's a good few tutorial videos on magnetizing. We have options and builds there, and that's something you can magnetize. Like, look, rather than using like a million magnets, it's going to sound tacky, but you could cut the bottom of a Pringles tin and just super glue a little piece on the back of all those items and just put one magnet on the vehicle. So then that way you could just attach what you want and remove it as you need to. Yeah, with your choice of weapons there. Some of these you'll be able to push fit them in anyway if they are variable. Sometimes just snap in. Like my, what are they called? Virtus Praetor jet bikes from Custodes. I haven't glued in the missiles or the bolters, so I could just clip them out and just switch them over. You don't need magnets for that. So our painting tutorial guide here. Painting tutorial guide here, and what I've got to say, these are coming together quite well. Because we've got most of the colours, we get to use them right away, and you kind of know where to start putting them. You've had plenty of practice, especially if you just started. Now, this right here is a lot of detail. like a lot of detail for something which is so small and tiny. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but I'm gonna avoid that like the plague. Says the guy that paints the incoming detail on his blooming screens. Ignore me. Again, we've got a nice bit of dry brushing there. It's good to see. Lens painting, we got that from the last one. That worked really well. The Mephiston and the Wild Rider Red, and a couple of dots on there. It's amazing. Celestial grey, that's interesting for lenses. I suppose they're not, for pieces of glass, I suppose they're not active, or the lights aren't on. We've got the washes there, that's really good. Weaponry, this is good, but they haven't started showing you how to burnish weapons that are being used yet. They're talking about the extra granite on that base, on that clear base. That's different. That is very different. Now, I haven't really thought about that. I really haven't thought about that. Normally, I'll just leave it blank so it looks like it's flying. So to have it low skimming, it's possibly a thing. Okay. So War in the Skies, we've got the mission there. The mission itself, we knew that they had to counter the flying vehicle for the Death Guard. It seems like the Death Guard get a little something, and then the Marines have to then get something to counter. So let's have a little look. You have the aerial superiority, which in wars, you know that having aerial superiority even can totally change the way that a battle works. You know, whether you're getting to see troops or whether you're getting to cut off supply lines, or, you know, just having that total dominance just for recon and information. So that's quite a major part of this mission. So let's have a look, see who we've got. We've got the Blightbringer, 5 Plague Marines, twice Fetid Bloat Drone, and 12 Poxwalkers versus a Primaris Chaplain, 5 Intercessors, 5 Reavers, 5 Scouts, and a Landspeeder. Yeah, I'm giving that to Death Guard. I'm giving that to Death Guard. See, if there were Hellblasters in there, Hellblasters, I would say that they would win that. But those drones are just so resilient. We have the stats for the Landspeeder there. Anything special that you should know? Well, just it's flying, and you can fly over objects, kind of like your interceptors. And if you remember that rule, that's fine. We have our closeout there, information, and one of the best pictures they've ever produced. Yeah, that's great. And in our next one, we're going to see our bikers, which I've currently got with me. You only get 2. I question that. We've got our layer paints, which are quite unusual. I think they changed some of these layer paints. I think Calgar actually got the colour in here. So we'll see how they go. We've still got Australia, New Zealand, UK, as I said about the US. And there was news that I saw recently, I can't remember on the channel, but it looks like the Conquest magazine will be moving into Italy. I don't see how they can't put these magazines right across the world anyway, rather than ramble on. I've noticed that with the Conquest magazine, it looks like we're trying to shift all their old stock, because they're obviously bringing out all these new Primaris items. It makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm not mad at them, it just makes a lot of sense, because you can't give away a range pretty much nearly for free and not have something else in the back pocket to get people to buy more. So that's really good. But what that does mean is that anything that we get in the magazine, there's probably going to be a new version of it or something slightly different in the future. A good idea, or a good example even, would be the Grav Tank, which you'll see. Anyway, either way, this has been Spekd. I've enjoyed finally getting to go through that mission, and I will take time to read that a bit later in full. But for now, I've enjoyed my time. I hope you've enjoyed yours, and I'm glad to have this back. Take it, have a good time, and peace out.